Hi friends, it's Queen Alita. I'm back today with a message from the Lord, but before I start, I just want to wish you a happy week. Welcome to a brand new week. It's Monday, my favorite day of the week, so yeah, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, welcome. Quick disclaimer, it's important to note that not every prophetic message is meant for everyone. So if you really want to run with the word, you think it's for you, please just take it back to the Lord and ask him to speak to you about it, to confirm it if it's for you. Just because you're listening doesn't mean that it is definitely for you. So just make sure that you also have that one-on-one relationship with him, because he does speak to all of us. And I know that for some of you, this will be confirmation of what he's been telling you. If you have any questions, definitely take them back to him. Keep that one-on-one relationship going. Again, it's important that you have a relationship with him and that you're not relying on everyone else to do that on your behalf. Okay, so I had a dream on January 2nd, 2023, and the Lord brought this back to my heart today when I was seeking him on whether there'd be a message for today. So I'm going to share the dream. In the dream, I was in this, it was like a church setting, and we had just broken up from like smaller groups, and it was kind of like a break, and we were about to go into the next part, which was the larger group all together, so everybody all together. And during that break, I was interacting with somebody, and I remember looking at them and just doing what I do in waking life, what most of us do, if not all of us do in waking life, judging them. Whether the judgments were good or negative, the point is I was judging the person, and they surprised me, because in my mind I was looking at them as somebody who thought highly of themselves, thought that they were more privileged than me. I just sized them up, right? And it turns out that this person was very friendly and really so humble, and she was eating something like a snack, and this was her favorite snack. You know how dreams are, you just know this information, and she was sharing it with me. She was making sure that, you know, I got to enjoy the very thing that she likes. And I remember just thinking, wow, how wonderful she was, how blown away by the way that she was treating me, not what I expected, which was pompous and, you know, someone who regarded themselves more highly than me. And I remember at some point I left to just kind of, you know, wherever I was going in that particular church setup, and I bumped into her sister, and she was also just as kind, just as welcoming, just as humble. And at some point they were standing there together. You know, the first lady that I'd met was now standing there with her, and they were continuing to share these snacks with me that were running out. And I was like, no, you don't have to, especially if you're running out. I know how it feels to, you know, when you really enjoy something and, you know, you're just on your last bit. And they said, no, we're still going to share with you. So that was the dream. And just listening to the dream again, for those who don't know, I record my dreams on a voice recorder. It's just quicker and easier for me when I wake up to just quickly get the details out. It's quicker than writing. So as I was listening to this recording, as usual, what I do is I just try and listen to what God is dropping in my spirit as I'm listening. And when God is speaking to me as I'm listening to a dream, there's such a difference between my voice and his. When it's his voice, it's like this moment of, oh, wow, like it's deeper than an aha moment. The message just settles in my spirit. So I've listened to this dream a number of times. And today when I was listening to it, it just was so clear what God was sharing with me. That there are going to be people that he's going to use, right, in our lives, in ministry. This was in a church setup. People in ministry that he's going to use that we would normally, you know, categorize in a way that we think that they won't help us, right? We already have preconceived ideas about it. And I know that the Lord was speaking to me personally as well, because it's just unfortunate that we live in a society where, you know, we have so much information coming in, and already we formulate all these preconceived ideas about people from different backgrounds, different cultures, different races, different socioeconomic statuses, just all these differences, all these things to bring division. And the Lord is going to use those very people that we have put in certain boxes to be the ones who minister to us, who share with us, whether it's sharing the gospel, sharing whatever it is that they have to give. And this is going to happen during a transitional time. I know for a lot of you actually are coming out of a season of resting, or whatever season you've been in, and you're going into a season of something larger. So we moved from smaller groups and we're going into a larger setting, and that stood out to me. And I just felt the Lord saying, there's been intimacy, there's been these small little things set up, so things that He's been doing in us. That's why we've had to heal. That's why so many of you have had to go through a healing process, so that you can get into the larger ministry and move forward, because you're going to be working with people, dealing with people who previously would have triggered you in a certain way, who would have made you think of them in a certain way. Those are the people that God is going to use to minister to you and to help you and to share things with you. And they're going to be part of your ministry going forward. But these things are going to happen during a transitional time where you begin to see how God is going to use certain types of people that you never would have seen yourself working with. Whether it's people from, a different culture. Where I'm from, there are many different tribes. And, there's let me put it this way, tribalism is rife, right? Sometimes you think that, people of one skin color are united. No, there are more divisions within that, because there's this tribe and that clan and whatever. So there's that kind of division as well. So the Lord is just wanting you to open your heart and your mind to who He's going to have you working with, people who are going to minister to, people who are going to love on you. I think that's a very strong element that came through in this dream, because I was genuinely overwhelmed by how accepting they were of me, and how humble and they were, and how they were sharing what they had, even though it was coming to the last bits of it. So know that God is placing people in your life who are going to give their last to you. And He wants you to get your mind right, so that you don't block what He's doing through these people. You don't block the blessings that He's bringing through these people. People who will give their last to help you, to sustain you. So this is part of the healing that's had to happen. And I think it's still something that is ongoing, because I think some of that healing will happen as you interact with these people, as you put aside all the preconceived notions that you have of a particular group, and just let God do what He's doing, right? There's such a beautiful scripture that the Lord gave me. It's Acts 10 verse 34 to 35, and it reads as follows. This is the NKJV. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, "In truth, I perceive that God shows no partiality, but in every nation whoever fears Him and works righteousness is accepted by Him." God has no favorites. Whoever fears Him, whoever reveres Him, whoever works righteousness is accepted by Him. And these are the people that God is going to use, because they are the people who fear Him, who work righteousness. Don't be blindsided by what you see and your preconceived ideas, because you could end up working with people who do not fear God, who do not work righteousness, even though they look right to you. Like, okay, I can work with this person because I can identify with them. I'm familiar with this. You're going to have to work with things and people who are unfamiliar to you, and who you probably have preconceived notions that are negative as opposed to positive. Okay, so that's the word for today. I pray that it has blessed you if it's for you, and I will see you in the next video. Always remember that God is a good Father. He loves you so much, because you, my friends, are so deeply special to Him.